Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. So today I have a few new, at least new to me, Shiseido products that I wanted to try. And let me first get started by telling you guys what I have on. I have on the Surat Perfectioniste Primer with the Biologique Recherche Serum de Tint. And I did my brows with the Wander Beauty Brow Pencil in taupe. And under eyes, I have on the Pat McGrath concealer in L1 mixed with the Chanel Rosy Light Drops. And I set under my eyes with the Pat McGrath under eye setting blurring powder in light. And on my eyes, I have on the Tom Ford Noir Fume Quad, which again is one of the newer ones. Told you guys last week, if you caught that video, that I'll be testing those, the three new ones that I purchased again, because the Mink Mirage, which at the time of purchase was my favorite of the three that I bought, it's not going on smoothly anymore. It's very patchy. So I've tried different primers and so forth, and it is still showing up patchy. Now, the Noir Fume, I have to say the shimmer shades went on beautifully. No problem with those whatsoever. The matte shade did apply patchy as well, but it also did originally when I purchased that one. So that was a shade that I always had an issue with, and it's the deepest shade in the quad. So here it is. So I can't really tell this light one how it goes on because I can't see it. But this one definitely goes on patchy. I always had an issue with this going on patchy. These two shimmer shades though go on very nicely. So I will still be testing those to see how the others do, but I have a feeling it's something to do with the mattes, and they are just, I don't know what happened, because the Mink Mirage went on beautifully originally, but they're just not going on nicely. So, and I did do an Instagram poll, and many of you guys also are having issues with those quads as well. So if you are on the fence about buying one of the newer released Tom Ford quads, I would hold off and maybe try to check it out in person. But so far the matte shades are what I'm having trouble with. All right, so that's everything on my skin. I haven't set the serum to tint. Again, it's more of a finishing serum, more like for skincare versus makeup. So I figure I'd go over it lightly with the Shiseido. This is the Cinco Skin Self-Refreshing Custom Finish Powder Foundation in shade 110. This is not new. I have used this. If you're interested, I do have a review up on this from a month or two ago. So I figure I'd go ahead and just lightly dust my skin with this. So I'm going to use the Sonia G Face One brush, and I'm just going to get a little bit up on there and kind of buff this in. So usually when I wear the serum de tint from Biologique Recherche, I don't add anything on top. I consider it, you know, for one of those like more of a no makeup day, because it is very sheer. But you can also use it like as a base. So if you're looking for something to kind of even out your skin tone a little bit, and then put on like a light, something with light coverage, either a light foundation or a tinted moisturizer or something, that would be a good option for something just to kind of help give a little balance. And again, it's technically skincare and not makeup. So, that's always a good thing. All right, so here is the Shiseido powder. It just gave me a little bit more of a matte look, and it added a little bit of coverage. So things got even a touch more even than they were before. So what I have a blush and a lipstick, and this blush seemed really intriguing to me. So I actually purchased this maybe like a month ago from Sephora. I was just kind of browsing, and I saw these and they just seemed really interesting. So this is the Minimalist Whipped Powder Blush, and it says to apply sparingly with fingertips, close tightly after use, and replace disc after use. And it's weightless, blendable, lasting. So we'll see. I have shade 7, which is Setsuko. So haven't looked at this yet. All right. So it comes in this square jar with a round lid. Obviously, you can see how much glass. There's no product here in the square part. And here we go, little plastic cover. And this is what it looks like. So I'm very, very intrigued. I couldn't really tell what these were like online, but the fact that it was called a whipped powder blush, it was very intriguing. So we're gonna try fingertips like they suggest. And let me just start by swatching here. It has a, wow, that is a really cool texture. So when you first put it on, you know, it feels liquidy, definitely goes down more to a powder, but it's like, let me try that again. That's really awesome. Okay, so when you put it on, yeah, it feels, you know, more like a gel type product. And then you smooth it in. It's like really soft, very silky texture. Wow, I like this. This is really cool. Okay, so I'm gonna just get a little bit on my fingertip and kind of dot it on, and we're just gonna kind of swirl it in like this. See how that goes. So you can see on my hand, I'm not sure if you can pick it up, there's a tiny bit of gold flecks in there. Just really, really minimal. I'm gonna add a little bit more here. I know it said to use fingers, but I am curious how this would apply with a brush. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use the Rephr 05. I'm gonna add a little bit to my hand here and kind of smear it in a little. And I'm gonna dab the brush in it.
I will be quiet in here.
Okay. Okay, I actually prefer the brush application to the finger. I think it just looks a little bit smoother, and I know. So I'm gonna add a little bit more to this side with the brush. Even those out. I just think the application looks a little bit better with the brush, although that's probably just my technique. Okay, so I've just been dabbing stuff off of this little cover. So I'm just gonna put that back on, close that up. I can definitely see why it says to close tightly after use. All right, and I think for finishing powder, I'm gonna go in with the Givenchy. This is the one that my most recent finishing powder in shade number 1, Mousseline Pastel. Again, this is part of the regular line, but I purchased the Couture edition, which has this pretty black lace lid. So I just really thought the lid was nice. So the good thing about these jars is all of the lids, you can mix and match. So if you want to take one lid from another, it works on all of them. All right, so I'm gonna just get a little bit on my brush. And I'm using the Surratt face brush. Just gonna do a light dust. Okay, so for highlighter, I'm gonna go in with the Surratt Torche Lumiere in Diamante. And I'm going to use my fingers and just tap this on. So I'm getting a little bit on here, and I'm just gonna tap a little bit on here. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to test is this lipstick from Shiseido. This is the VisionAiry Gel Lipstick. So again, this is the same line as the whipped powder blush, so I thought I would try this. It says weightless, bold, semi-satin, lasting. And I purchased the shade 211 Rose Muse. And let's see, is this anything else? No. All right. So let's see what this is like. Okay, so it comes in this foil bag. I've never gotten a lipstick which is in a foil bag before, so I'm curious. All right, so it's got a square tube, and you've got the Shiseido logo here. The little code is here, so I guess that would be the bottom. And it's actually pretty narrow. Let me see here. I think for comparison, this is the Surratt Lip Sleek. So the Surratt is slightly more narrow. And then the Lip Glorifiers from Clé de Peau are slightly larger, very slightly. So this is kind of right in between those two sizes. So it is a pretty small bullet in general. All right, so let's go ahead and swatch this here. It's a little bit peachier than I thought it was from the website, and here it is kind of smeared out a little. Texture feels very satiny, very lightweight. And this is incredibly soft. So you can see I dented the bullet just from swatching it on my hand. It has a really interesting texture in a good way. It's very soft, but it kind of feels like the blush did on my hand. So it's got kind of like that whipped texture to it still, and yet it has like a really satiny, silky texture on the lips. I like it. So I'm definitely intrigued to try more of these. This, because it is so soft, it definitely shears out very quickly on the lips. So it was way more pigmented on my hand than on my lips here. All right, so those are the products. Okay, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the products. So the blush, you saw it go on as a cream. It kind of dries down to a powder, but not quite all the way to a true powder finish. It's still a little bit creamier. Texturally, though, you don't feel it. So I feel nothing on my skin. There's no tackiness, no stickiness, no dewiness, nothing. Like it dries down to like a powder type finish, but when you're still blending it in, you can still feel a little bit of that. So it's kind of like a cream to powder, but I feel like the actual finish that you see in your skin looks a little bit more of more like a cream finish versus a powder finish. Like it doesn't have that powdery look to it on the skin at all. For the lipstick, I say it also acts like a cream to powder type product. Feels really awesome going on, and I feel like my lips actually look more matte as it has settled in. So I feel like they look more like a powder finish, essentially. I wouldn't say that they look like a matte lipstick. They're somewhere in between a satin and a matte, but it definitely dries down a little bit more matte looking than when it is first applied. Rubbing my lips together, I can still feel like movement of the product, like some slip, and it's very comfortable on my lips. It feels, it feels like I have like some sort of light lip product on, but I do think it gives a more matte look, which is good or bad depending on how you look on it. But again, it's just really kind of cool because it's like a cream to powder type finish, but going on, it's like I don't know, the texture is really cool. If you have the opportunity to try them, I would definitely try them if you haven't already. And I just wanted to show you guys up close what the lips look like, since they do look more matte than when I applied it. So there you go. Thanks so much. I will leave a note about how these wear throughout the day, but the textures themselves just feel really awesome. So I am very intrigued by these lines. I can't wait to try more of these, provided that they last well throughout the day. But yeah, I thought these were really cool. So to me, it's an awesome new find. If anybody has used these before, please leave any comments down below in the comment field, and I'd love to know your thoughts. So again, the texture of these, I can't get over how they feel. It's like, I don't know, it really is incredibly lightweight and just kind of shears out so nicely. So anyway, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, but you are interested in doing so, please click the subscribe button, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. So please stay safe and healthy and have a great day. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.